Welcome everybody, it's Captain Collins. I salute to every one of you. Welcome YouTube for a quick episode on how to build your streaming PC or your gaming PC, whatever you like to do with it. To me, I'm Captain Collins. I stream every Friday, Saturday and Sunday. You can find me in the description down below. I will do a very quick introduction to you with some articles I found on Amazon, which will be your streaming PC or your gaming PC, whatever you want to do. And this whole PC will cost you about $1,500 and a little bit more in euros. Don't be afraid, don't have to take any notes, everything will be in the description down below, and I will show you a list at the end with all the pieces I found and the prices, so you just have an overview that you can maybe screenshot or whatever you like with it. And we will jump in right into that and build a PC from scratch with every single part you need. So let's go and take a look at the list. Here we are, that's the list I prepared for you. This is all we will look at right now. This is a list with every single part you need for your PC so that it runs smoothly and quiet. The criteria at this point is that it is fast and quiet, so that your PC is just near to your head. Everything you will hear is just a little blow of wind, and that's all. It will be not noisy or anything, and it's powerful enough to play everything and stream everything. Okay, from here on we go to the first part, the case. A case is something you need to build in your PC, so that is just a basic thing. And I would take that really as basic as it could be, because you don't want to spend that much money on a case. So there are some things you should keep in mind. Of course, enough room for fans in the front, in the back, maybe at the top if you want to upgrade into a liquid cooling device. Good button placement, and the last thing is maybe you want to have a window to just look into your PC. So yeah, going from this basic device, which you can see, this is everything really clean, nothing really fancy. Coming to the next part, which is a motherboard, of course. And be sure you don't want to spend too less money for a motherboard, because the motherboard is like your brain in the PC. Everything will be controlled by it, and it is the central part of your PC where everything will be routed through. Don't buy it too cheap. You will have problems maybe with it. But with this, you're going very high-end, an ASUS Prime X470. This is necessary for the next piece we get, the CPU, because the CPU will be a AMD second generation processor, which you can see right now, an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X processor. This will give you enough power for your PC for years. I believe in that it is basically enough to power your PC, either if you're streaming or if you're just gaming. Why not Intel? Intel is for another reason. It is better in some reasons. So Intel is better there with handling single tasks, but AMD is better if you're streaming, because AMD handles a multitask a little bit more. The difference is not extremely high when the CPUs you're comparing are not that far away from each other price-wise or anything else. This is a very cheap price for a Ryzen 7. I found that just on Amazon. This will give you enough power for your device. Okay, as I said before, you want to have a quiet PC. So that's why we're not using the AMD boxed cooler. We'll get another one which will give you something a little bit more powerful. And this will be, for me, the Legrand Macho RT. This is a very big cooler, but it is so quiet, and it will keep your CPU really at a low level. We got the temperature of the CPU is right now at 40 degrees Celsius. and that Le Grand Macho is doing a really good work. As you can see, this thing is big. Okay, next on the list is RAM. But how do you decide which RAM do you need? Therefore, we go a step back and take a look at the website from ASUS, where you see the Prime X 470 Pro, which we just have in our Amazon. And there you see a part where it says memory. And in memory, you get all the detailed information which RAM to buy. And what you want to do, of course, because you want to go high level, you take the RAM with the highest number, and this is here a DDR4 3600. And you can place up to 4 of them, and maximum 64 gigabytes. So what you want to do is you take 2 pieces of RAM, which is 32 gigabyte, so that you have room to the top to upgrade to 64 gigabytes. And this is the G.Skill Trident Z Neo, and it's a 3600 megahertz RAM. So this is the fastest you can get for your mainboard. And the next piece is the crucial part in here. This will be very, very expensive, but it's also the most important one. If you're gaming or if you're streaming, this is the most important piece after your CPU or everything else. So this is a ZOTAC gaming GeForce 2070 AMP Extreme. AMP Extreme in this part is very, very good. The ZOTAC AMP Extremes are overclocked. They're running at a higher clock speed. They give you more power for almost the same money as maybe some other OEMs giving you. And why 2070? Because this is just in the middle of all you can get right now. And it will give you enough power for gaming, and it will give you an NVENC dedicated encoder chip, which is going to just blast your stream because you don't have to use your CPU anymore for streaming. Just put in OBS and take the NVENC decoder, and everything will just run smooth with the CPU load very, very low. And you will not see any difference in your game at all. So this is something you have to think of. This is very, very expensive. It's the most expensive part of your PC. But there is an option to do it differently. And it is to buy a used one. Why am I talking about that? Because if you buy a used one, there are studies which say that used ICs, so integrated circuits, like for example this thing is, so the silicon-based integrated circuit, they will not alter when they are used. So basically what it says is that a used device will be as good as a new device because it will not alter. You can save up to, let's say, $200 if you get a used device there. Oh, and the next thing is don't buy a 1080, a GTX, because it costs the same. The dedicated streaming decoders are not as good as with the RTX series. And of course you don't have RTX. Okay, so here we go, a quick summary where we are right now. We have a case, we have a mainboard with the right CPU there, a new CPU cooler, which you could not buy if you are good with a normal box cooler of the Ryzen 7. So then you can save 80 bucks. We have the RAM. This is the fastest RAM you can get for this mainboard. And we have a GPU, which is the 2070 AMP Extreme. Think about that, the AMP Extreme is better than the normal 2070, so this will give you a little bit more power. Next thing we need is a drive, because you want to save like Windows on it, and games, and whatever. And you know what's the fastest? It's an M2 NVMe. It's an SSD basically just put onto your main board. This is not an additional drive like in the older days. So this is right on your main board. You will see that in the description of your main board, how to place it there. But this will give you everything you need. It is 1 terabyte. And if you want to upgrade, of course, there are options to go with other SSDs and just buy them and place them into your case, so you can upgrade the memory really easily. And 1 terabyte is the go-to M2 right now, because as you see, the 2 terabytes are almost triple as much. Or wait, 300, more than triple than 1 terabyte. So this is basically the thing you want to do right now, is to get 1 terabyte NVMe. Okay, we have almost everything included in our PC. The next thing we need is power. And how do you decide to get the power right? That's a question which is asked frequently, and I can show you by going back to the graphics card, because the graphics card will tell you, if we scroll down, come here, it will tell you here that 550 watts power supply is recommended. So this is the basic point you need to do. So you want to have a little bit more room in your PC. So what we can, where we can go is like the 850 watts. I have here a Corsair device, because if you look up, the Corsair device is the quietest you can get. It's even quieter than the one from Be Quiet. It's quieter from as a Thermaltake or anything else. Look it up, the Corsair RM series is the quietest you can get. And just one thing to keep in mind is that this device will also give you enough cables and enough connectors for everything you have in your PC. So right now you could say we almost have everything there. We have a M2 drive and we have a PSU, a power supply unit. But what about the fans? We still don't have any fans to get air into our PC. This is surprising, but what I found is a pack of 3 for just 15 bucks, which are really good. And at that point you can go RGB, because you get like red or blue or even different colors, whatever you like. There are green ones, there you can see green ones or whatever. So what I was looking here is just one single thing, and this is the noise. The noise says 14.8 decibels. This is very low. Compare them with others. Maybe compare them with Thermaltake or Noctua or whatever. They are not as quiet. And if you want to go even a little bit lower and you don't mind RGB or anything, there is one single other recommendation I have, and this is the Arctic Silent. The Arctic Silent is a very quiet fan, and you can get them for 140 millimeters. I believe that they are also for 120 millimeters. This is everything we have. We also have the fans in here. Like I said, the criteria was fast and quiet. And where we land here with a total is $1,501 right now. Or respectfully, I looked that up on Amazon.de, 1,680 euros. What you can do right now is, like I said before, this is very cheap, of course. You don't want to save on your main board, because that's like your brain in the PC. That is already a very cheap CPU with that price. You can save that here if you want. You don't really need this. I would not recommend to go 16 gigabytes RAM if you're going to stream. But if you're going to game, maybe it's enough. But I wouldn't recommend that. And this is the lowest I could see. Maybe you can go a little bit lower, not 3600 megahertz, but maybe 3000 megahertz. Okay, there you can save a little bit. Here you can save almost 50% if you're good with a used device, like I said. And of course you can go with an M2 drive a little bit lower. Like for example, let's say you want to have 500 gigabytes, which was $100. This will give you a slightly decrease in your price, which is about. So this is your total price if you're going low, or like I said, if you're going with a used GPU, you can go down to about $1,100. So that's it. Let's go into the lounge and ask a few more questions. Good, here we're back. And like I said, this is all questionable. It depends on what you're going to do. It depends on if you're going to have used devices or whatever. And if you have questions or anything, just go to my Twitch. I'm streaming every Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and you can ask me live on stream what I would recommend you to buy. Or just write a comment down below here in YouTube and we're good to go. And I thank you for watching this. I hope this was any kind of educational for you, and we can do some things like that in the future. I will be cool with that, and see you soon. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. Thank you very much. I'm out. I'm Captain Collins. Thank you. See you on Twitch. Bye bye.